I want to take this platform to talk about two other ideas which perhaps you may have heard before because everybody is talking about it. 2 points. One is that we need to change our relationship with nature. From a legal perspective, this has been a core topic of my research in the past as well, that we have looked at nature as a property subject to the benefit and welfare of mankind. But it is time that we start realizing that nature is a part of us and we are a part of it, and we need to recognize nature's identity as a person, both legally but also socially, to create the legal and the institutional safeguards to protect from environmental degradation and pollution. Right now, environmental justice, which is something which is not being spoken at the COP, is something for human rights advocates to talk about. It is something for ground level indigenous organizations to talk about, but it is never taken seriously by national level governments, because those people who are fighting the cause of environmental justice are pitching themselves against large level industries, illegal logging corporations, and those environmental justice, you have a stream of examples from Latin America, indigenous groups, even from South Asia.
You could see those people really walking to the negotiation. They were barging in because we need to be included, because the indigenous community doesn't feel included at all. Like, you can see the anger, and that is why they were here. They were demanding to speak to us. We need to speak to the COP president. We need to speak to our president. We need to speak to all these country heads as well. Like, what are they doing? Where are we in this discussion? So yes, please continue.
No, absolutely. I mean, we are not talking about environmental justice at the COP. This is more on climate finance negotiations. But yesterday I was part of a meeting of the parties to the Escazú Agreement, the Aarhus Convention within Latin America, which merges access to justice and access to information, that whenever and wherever environmental activists are killed or indigenous land conservators are killed, there is a mandated investigation process to be followed in those countries. This convention was adopted because some very important and transformative indigenous leaders have been put to death because of protecting their lands. It is shocking to say and realize the fact that indigenous groups control 80%. Sorry, the indigenous groups manage 20%
I think manage
of
is the right word.
yeah manage 20% of land on earth, let's say, but they conserve and protect 80% of biodiversity, right? We just had COP 15 of the Convention on Biological Diversity, where we are racing to protect 70% of biodiversity by 2030. We are looking at net zero pledges now, but we need to bring all the actors together. This COP has to deliver important messages on that front.